Muraho, welcome back on Zanheza's YouTube channel. Today, Inshuti Day Session number 6, we are going to be with a fitness trainer. So, thank you very much for you who is watching us today, for you who have subscribed today. We hope you're going to enjoy this show as we are going to be discussing more about sport. And, I'm getting to the field where I think I need to have some information, and I'm so glad that I have a professional working person in the field. So if you would like to introduce yourself to the people watching.
Thank you. My name is Yvan Munyengango. And like you said, I'm a professional fitness trainer.
Yeah. Yvan Munyengango, known as Yvan Munye on his social medias. Yeah. Why Yvan Munye?
Well, the first question has always been why Yvan? Why Ivan, not Yvan, with a Y? I think it goes back in high school with teachers. Probably who insisted to call me Ivan. It sounds. It still is simple for most people, even in administrations. You go somewhere at the bank, and no matter how it's written with a Y, people insist on calling me Ivan. And then I don't know, I started using it just like that, but official on my ID and my passport, it's with a Y. And then
it's with a Y.
Munye, yes. And then Munye, it's just a short for my long name.
Your long name. Yeah. All right, so okay, I hope you don't mind me calling you Ivan. I think
I don't mind. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, thank you. So Ivan, how long have you been working in this field?
It's about 10 years now. Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot. When we were young, when a person is young, you have this dream that you like. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. And when you get in high school, maybe you start to learn about Isaac Newton, Einstein, and all those kinds of people. Then you start, your dream kind of shift, right? Yeah. You say you want to be maybe like Newton, maybe like. Yeah. How is you like when you were young?
Well, just like any other kid, I had, of course, dreams. And then as you grow, at every stage of your growth, you recalibrate so that your dreams can match your personality, your surrounding, everything that you are in that particular period of time. And I feel like over time, and also at some point they start losing value. So you just realize that they were actually kids' dream or whatever. But yes, I was also into those science figures and historical figures. And then at some point you get to choose what you like and you follow that.
Who was your figure?
Growing up, I feel like it was never one person. I feel like I was into music. I was into music first, and so my people I looked up to were like, I was brought up by an uncle who liked jazz, so I listened to a lot of jazz. So a lot of I don't know, do you know jazz musicians?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know Miles Davis?
Miles
Davis, Coltrane, B.B. King, all those and some blues and
So what about
people like Bill Withers? So I was like introduced to those individuals as like idolized in my home, and then I felt like, wow, this is something I could love being or something. And then you grow up, I transitioned into football. My whole heart went to football.
You even played football?
I even played football, yeah.
Sports?
Yeah. I played for every high school I've ever been into. There were 3 high schools, and I played for all of them. And
why did you stop football? You could have been like our Messi.
No, man, football in Rwanda at some point, you get to, unfortunately, it's a very unfortunate situation. You get to a level where you choose the academics or football. We were never brought up in a situation where you could actually pursue both at the same time. And then, of course, education was important to us and to our parents and people who sent us to school. So And then every time I came back in vacation, I would suck at football because I would have been away from practice.
Yeah, talking about that, you know, there is this way, when we grow up, our parents tell us that education is what we need for future success, if I may say. And sometimes maybe you have a talent, but because you know you have to focus on your education, it turns out that, you know, your talent is kind of left behind, right? So what do you say if you have a talent and you know you're good at it and you know you want to improve, right? Would you prefer, I mean, taking it further and following it than this informal education? Or if you were your own parent at the moment, right? What would you have decided?
Oh, like football versus education.
And you know, you can take football education, I think.
So I'm a huge advocate of education. Education is always needed, and yeah. But if you, I mean, at that time, if you took me, because I always managed to separate education and schooling. So if you asked me at that time, I would have asked you if there is a way I can be educated in the matters I'm interested in, and then maybe not spend a lot of time in school where I'm maybe distracted by fields and areas that I'm being forced to be into or to learn about. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's everything that you acquire at school, it's needed until you don't know really how much substance you get even in those things you don't like until you need them, until you are using them in everyday life. So I think I would have chosen education. And
I think the world we are living in today requires us to be multi-skilled, if I may say, because you need different skills when you go to the outside world. So now getting back to the fitness and sports career. Well, I'm glad that even though you shifted from football, but you didn't completely leave sports behind. You still continued to be your passion. But then how did you come to decide that fitness, health, that's where you want to focus? And then what triggered you to?
Well, I mean, of course, in life you do what many people do, what other people do, which is like following what feels like it's like an already pre-planned and safe things to do, like growing up and go to school and get a job and do all that. So I did all that. So until, of course, I had other jobs other than what I do today. So, and I realized that I don't like them as much as being active and helping people be active. And then the transition is always the hard part when you're doing something unconventional like what I do. In a traditional sense, in a Rwandan culture, it's very uncommon to just pick up being a fitness trainer as a job, as something you want to do. But the transition from leaving the conventional world to what you want to pursue that isn't pursued as a thing to do is what's always hard. I managed to like start being part-time in what I was doing and then part-time in fitness. I was always active, so the what pushed me to go in this field is probably the love of movement. So I was just constantly moving and training for myself without any idea of where that could lead. But after I figured out a way I could do 50-50 in terms of splitting the time in my day job that I had at that time, and then do personal training and fitness in general part-time, I slowly transitioned full-time into fitness. So that's how it.
Weren't you scared of, making such kind of translation? And maybe you talked about, what people expect of you to do. So weren't you like afraid being like, I'm going into this? I want to see like, what were the challenges that you faced?
Of course, there are some more like, you face a lot of challenges, some being the society you live in, of course, that it's not really common growing up. There was no personal trainers, and people who worked at gyms were so disregarded in so many ways, and it's a job that I remember in the early days, I mean, in social settings, and we're telling people that, I'm a personal trainer working at a gym. Oh, okay. So then they were like, so what is that you really do? What else do you do? Or
exactly.
Then it used to frustrate me, but not anymore, of course. But the challenges were, of course, at the personal level. There were I've been thinking about how you're gonna make a living out of it, and it's an industry that was not at this level where we are today. So I mean, whatever that you could only grow at a certain level, and then that still wasn't enough. But if you are on the top of your game today in fitness in Rwanda, you are doing okay. And so there are of course uncertainties, financial worries, not having peers or people to look up to, all those things. Like basically, going in an untapped field.
I was going to say, if you could advise the 15 years old of yourself, but again, the 15 years old of you who is interested in fitness, how would you advise yourself? Because I'm saying this because I know there are people there who are watching us. They love sports and fitness, but maybe they don't see how they can make a living out of it, or maybe they're afraid of facing the odds,
I mean, of course, just like any other thing, you need, of course, the basics. Like you said, these days you need to be you need to have a lot of skills, and there's marketeers say that you can make it and sell it. I mean, I guess it's an old saying. These days you make it and you sell it. Everybody who makes a shoe now has like an Instagram account to sell that shoe. And you have to have communication skills to be able to actually reply and talk and sell and communicate about what you do. So all those things, you sort of work on them progressively. I feel like the 15-year-old me would have been probably I could have worked on my certification earlier so that I can pursue further education in the field, do other things that I wish I can do now. That I mean, now with like I have a family, I'm stable, and so there are all these things I could only do when I'm young and single. But if I were to advise my 15-year-old self, I would tell him to pursue all those things before you get a bit boxed.
Oh yeah, that's so interesting. I hope each and everyone out there who is watching us and wondering if fitness and sports is something that you can do as a career, as a profession, I hope he acts as an inspiration to you. Again, talking about inspiring people, what has this helped you achieve in your life? What has this taken you that you never thought maybe you could go? I mean, I've seen you were certified by the International Science Sports Association, right? So that's something someone who is young today is not maybe thinking about. So tell us, what has this career taken you that you never dreamt of?
Well, I mean, everything I am today is because of this career. But there is, of course, it depends on what standards do you measure success or whatever. But I feel like if you if we reversed and then you asked me to do something else, I would still choose fitness. So it has given me so much in terms of knowledge, in terms of feeling that sense of accomplishment, because we get most of our satisfaction from the feedbacks of our clients that we work with on a day-to-day basis. So I feel like that's for me like very rewarding as a job, and I would still pick it. And yeah,
I feel a sense of deep passion.
Yes,
deep
definitely,
passion. Yeah, and that is what's necessary, because it starts with the passion, the love you have for something. Then it takes you everywhere you want, as long as you're ready to learn and follow it further. Now we have talked more about what you do and how you got into it. Now let's try to go outside of it a little bit and talk about you.
Yeah.
When you were in high school, did you used to fight with other kids? And no.
Wi-Fi, okay.
I mean, there is this way in high school, some argument raised, and you are forced to go into such kind of thing.
No, I feel like I had always different ways to express myself without. I wasn't violent. I wasn't. I was that kid that runs around and plays a lot, and of course there could be like some football field quarrels and stuff like that, but not really major things. Never.
So you never been a bad boy?
Not really. Not
so
to my not to my definition of what a bad boy is.
Have you ever thought of a school being, well, you said you value so much education, but has there been a time where you thought like schooling was maybe not something you wanted to do?
Maybe later on in uni. There was a time where you feel like you're interested in knowing things, but not in that setup. The setup wasn't very convenient for me. I
like asking people something wild they have done when they were young, and even when they think about it now, they're like, oh my god, that's so funny, I can't do it again.
Do I have any of those things? Funny, wild, you said. Wild.
Yeah, funny, wild. Like, you think about it to be like, oh my goodness.
I can't think of anything, actually.
Oh, really?
Nope.
All right. Okay. Did you used to play with other kids at home?
Yeah.
What kind of the game you enjoyed? Seeking?
Hide and seek, of course. Hide and seek as a kid, and obviously football, like running around with a ball in the street. I grew up in a very dynamic neighborhood where we were here and there doing all kinds of acrobatic movements in the streets and in the fields, and we played a lot of games. I can't really remember.
Oh, okay, you played a lot of games.
Yeah.
I did too. So now let's go to the culture part. Right? I'm going to be asking you questions in Rwandan culture. And first of all, I'm going to ask you. You said you learned some history, and I believe some histories you mean there includes Rwandan history, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we are going to do this in Kinyarwanda.
Okay.
So ubu ngubu tugeze mu gice cyacu cya gatatu ari nacyo cya nyuma cy'umuco. Ngiye kubaza Yvan, agiye kutubwira inkuru yaba yarumbishe mu mateka y'u Rwanda y'umuntu w'intwari umva yamushimishije, kandi akaba yumva aka kanya hari n'isomo imuhereza aka kanya kigendera.
Inkuru y'umuntu w'intwari. For some reason nkunda Ndabaga.
Okay.
Ni inkuru ishimishije noneho ifite relevance muri ibi bihe muri no myaka y'iyi minsi aho abagore n'abakobwa bari kwaka uburenganzira kuba baba free bagakora ibyo bashaka bimwe mu bintu abahungu twinjoyinze igihe cyose imyaka myinshi. So story yandabaga ndayikunda umukobwa wari ufite imbaraga ushoboye kurwana akajya ku rugamba biratangaje nyine ibintu bikomeye yaciyemo byo nko kwizirika ku mabere kugira ngo agire agatuza kari flat nko ibyo bintu byose.
Rero umukobwa ufite umurava ubona hari icyo arwanira kandi waba urugero rwiza ku bandi bakobwa. Aka kanya u Rwanda ruri mu bihugu bifite umubare mwinshi w'abagore mu nteko nshingamategeko. Kuri wowe ni iyihe sura biguha?
Kubera inteko nshingamategeko niyo igena amategeko ashapinga cyangwa agena umurongo ngenderwaho mu gihugu, abaturage uko babaho, imivurize, ubuzima bwiza, ekonomi n'ibiki. So kuba isi y'ahandi hatandukanye bagifite ibibazo bimwe na bimwe, abagore badafite ubuvugizi n'ibiki, twe tukaba dufite majorite abagore benshi mu nteko kurusha. Nkeka ko ari ikintu kizatuma mu Rwanda tugera kuri aho tunibagirwa ko abagore igihe kimwe batabashaga gutora, abagore igihe kimwe batabashaga gutwara imodoka, ibintu byibanze gukora siporo kugira gutya. So hari ibintu byinshi bizafasha u Rwanda mu kugeraho byihuse.
Twabaye nk'ababikomozaho abakobwa kuba hari ibintu mu muco wa mbere bari batemerewe gukora cyangwa umuco watumaga badakora, birimo na siporo. Kera iyo wakoraga siporo uvuga wigize umuhungu iki. Nagira ngo nkubaze, uramutse ufite nk'umwana w'umukobwa wamushishikariza cyane gukora siporo ukamubwira ati nkuko babyita ngo kora umubiri?
abakobwa unabibona n'ubu ngubu iyo uri kuvugana n'abakiriya b'abadamu ko hari icyo kintu cy'uko umuntu ari uwo ari we, and then the physical part y'ubumuntu, ko iyo hajeho umukobwa and then siporo bakumva ko ntabwo turatandukanya cyane siporo na well-being. Ntabwo turatandukanya cyane siporo na aesthetics n'imirebekere. So ikintu cyose nk'abadamu muri rusange bita ko barebeka cyane kurusha ikintu icyo ari cyo cyose, I feel. So ku buryo fitness no gukora siporo abenshi baba bafite motivation ari ndashaka gutera neza, ndashaka kurebeka neza, ku buryo iyo hari
urihangana guce mu ijambo ho gatoya. Buriya ushobora kuvuga ngo ndashaka gutera neza, ariko se nta kuntu siporo yagufashamo? Nyine nibyo nangiye gukomozaho. So ko abantu ubwo baba muri competitive sports, sinzi icyo babitekerezaho. Nka urugero uramuzi Serena Williams, urabazi ba Maria Sharapova so basically ntabwo ari abantu iyo bari gukora siporo ntabwo bashishikajwe cyane nuko barebeka. At the end of the day birangira barebetse neza, ariko fitness bakora niyo kugira ngo ni specific fitness yo kugira ngo ibafashe mu kazi kabo nk'aba professionnel bakina siporo runaka, hanyuma bakabona physique nka bonus. So ni nacyo rero nashishikariza abadamu, abakobwa muri rusange bakore siporo, and then bakora siporo bafocusinga ku bintu nka movement, nko kuba wakora ama movement neza, nko kuba
niyo idea yo kuvuga ngo I'm capable of doing ABCD physically speaking. Ubwabyo biri exciting, and then the cosmetic part of it ikaza nka bonus, kuko icyo wakoze kikaguha umubiri uteye neza cyangwa umeze neza, ariko ntabwo byakakwiye kuba ariyo focus ngo ndashaka ngo gutera neza ngo small waist ngo big hips cyangwa iki. I don't know by ama standard ariho ngo menshi atandukanye. So but umukobwa wanjye akora siporo n'ubu ngubu ndamufite, so azana kumayikora.
Umukoresha siporo?
Baranayikoresha nawe baranayikunda.
Kora amapompaje menshi?
No, umuntu akora afite imyaka 3, so akora ibintu byo ku rwego rw'imyaka 3. Nakora imyaka nagira 15 azaba akora ibindi nabyo. So na pompaje ku gihe azagera azazikora.
Ntekereza ko abakobwa kanya bari kutureba cyangwa bumvishe message bahaye cyangwa ubutumwa bahaye hari icyo bakuyemo, kandi koko kuba wagira umubiri udafite ikibazo ntekereza ko ari cyo kintu cya mbere. So thank you very much, Yvan, for your time and for your inspiration. Yvan talked about a lot of things. He talked about that you have to be multi-skilled for you to adapt yourself to the outside world. He inspired us in a lot of things. Thank you very much, Yvan, for joining us in the Inshuti Day Session number 6. So thank you very much, everyone who has watched us. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and hit that ring button to stay notified about our coming videos. And don't forget to leave us your comments in the comment sections for how we can better improve on our videos and how we can better give you something you'd enjoy and like. So thank you very much. Don't forget to visit our website www.zaniheza.com for more amazing experiences we have for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much, Yvan.